basically, it starts 26 months ago, to be precise, like a Christmas carol, honestly. 25th of December, call from an international lawyer asked me if I want to be involved into a company or a project in Congo, in DRC, and for launching loyalty, or let's say a payroll system, sorry. And it starts there, and we make the project alive, and then we evaluate, we think about it, we meet a lot of people all over the world. We travel about more than 2 years. We are many specialists, and we are pleased they are here tonight, by the way. Without them, we won't be here tonight. That I'm talking about the OID team, led by Danny Remarque, which is just in the middle of the public audience there. And I can tell you, every time we were speaking about our solution, even though it's very to big companies like very important teleco operators or banks even, we have been taken very seriously because you're going to see that the worldwide trend is tremendous. It's a big business we are going to it. I'm very pleased to launch that from Belgium because I could see that in Barcelona last week, not too many Belgians were in the worldwide mobile fair in Barcelona. So I think we can do something about it, and you will see we have a solution to that.
So you've heard a bit about Tribalnets, and what is it we do? We offer electronic transaction platform, and in effect, we offer the ability to provide bank accounts over the web or over the mobile for people either that already have bank accounts and want to manage them in a more effective manner, or for people that don't currently have bank accounts. We're run by Didier, and as Didier mentioned, it's not just a one-man ride here. He's also joined by many, and a very experienced team, I might add, from both the telecoms and banking world. Can I ask those, my colleagues from Tribalnets, to please raise their hands? Those in the audience? Excellent. Please don't hesitate to come and approach any of us if you have any questions afterwards. It's easy to forget when especially when you're based here in Brussels, that actually many people around the world don't have access to bank accounts. In fact, although in the Western world, by which we mean sort of North America, obviously Europe and Australia, over 80% of people do have access to bank accounts. Across South Africa and the African continent, South America and Asia, less than 60% of people typically have access to bank accounts. And there's a number of reasons for that. Either because the physical infrastructure of banking doesn't exist, or because people don't have enough money to actually open a bank. And in many instances, banks charge, obviously, a lot because of their operational costs to actually open a bank account. And we make that a lot easier for them. What we're talking about is the bottom of the pyramid. Around about 4 billion people worldwide don't have access to bank accounts. And a lot of those people are living on less than $2 a day. So it's obviously difficult for them to be able to open a bank account when banks are asking upwards of $10,000. But they do have financial management to consider. And it may be a surprise for many of you, but of those 4 billion people, 1 billion people actually have access to a mobile. That's about 25%. And that's the opportunity that we're talking about. So 1 billion people, that's predicted to grow to 1.7 billion by 2012. That's around about 40%, and actually we're already heading that way.
Well, you could see that's already the potential of this market. And indeed, if you just look at some figures, you could see on the slides, I think if we just change the slides, good. You could see technology can have failures time to time. Let's say that we're talking about the World Bank, just to give you some figures, like 175 million immigrants into the world today. But more interesting for us, these, let's say, immigrants provides about sending money all over the world for about 800 million recipients to the family, friends. And the transaction is, in average, worth about $200. I can tell you it's a big business. If just the market leader of this, let's say, international remittance, which is Western Union, you know, the total value of remittance in the next few years is going to explode, and it's estimated to $700 billion. We can tell you it's big numbers. I know we are in Europe, but still you can do the conversion easily. And then GSMA as well. If just GSMA is the famous, let's say, association of all the telephone or phone operators worldwide, and they expect their market or remittance could be worth to about $1 trillion. You can imagine the amounts that we can even write that time to time.
With the help of mobile services. So they estimate between Western Union 700 billion and the GSMA forecasting that with the help of actual mobile services that will grow to $1 trillion being moved around the world. So if you look at what the World Bank says that actually reducing those commission charges that are currently being paid of around about 15%, actually growing up to 25%, which is, imagine that, you're sending some money around and you're actually having to give 25% of that away just in order to be able to send the money across to the person that you want to send it to. It's quite a lot. But just by reducing those charges to something more manageable, such as 10 to 12%, that actually we could increase dramatically the amount of money flowing into economies. As Didier said, last week we were in Barcelona. We were lucky enough to attend the Mobile World Congress there. And we were speaking to some guys that are running the telcos out in Ghana and Congo, Mauritius, Nigeria and South Africa. And they said a lot of their economies are tremendously reliant on outside money flowing into the economy in order just to keep the economy going. And in fact, the World Bank last year was actually stepped in to help a couple of those countries and rescue them from bankruptcy, where they did really not have enough money to actually pay the imports that they were getting that day. So they said they are tremendously reliant on it. And mobile removes really the need for physical points of presence, and that really does reduce the costs and reduce the overheads and allow them to manage their banking much more effectively from the bank's perspective.